Hello, and welcome to Total Mage. Today, 4/28/2019. So, I have been just doing a lot of gameplay lately and trying to stay away from the quagmire that is certain games. And I'm sorry, but I came across this afternoon after I got off work, and I couldn't not talk about this because this is such a great story. Spy Games Radar, and so it came out 2 days ago. Jason Coles wrote it. Oh, Jason. Oh, Jason. Oh, Jason. So, before Anthem receives story DLC, Bio-ware needs to address its obsession with the male ego. Anthem has a problem with male ego, and it's dragging its storytelling down. Oh. Bio-ware is slowly turning Anthem around. Not true. That's your opinion, and it's not even close to reality. So that process, they write, that process certainly hasn't been easy for the studio, but it at least making good on its commitment to continue supporting the game. And this, I will agree, they are continuing to support the game. It hasn't been that long, but we'll see, you know. In an effort to get Anthem where it needs to be, the studio was forced to admit that it isn't going to achieve all of its Act 1 calendar goals, pushing back the introduction of elements such as Cataclysm, Mastery Systems, Guilds, Phase 2 of the Legendary Missions, along with other highly requested features from the community. So basically, they're not getting anything done that they said they were going to get done. They just figured out how to not break your Sony PlayStation. BioWare understands that its endgame content isn't where it needs to be, which means it can't possibly begin to take the next steps towards Anthem's evolution. The undercurrent, this is just so hilarious. The undercurrent to all of this is that we shouldn't expect to see any story DLC for a while. And to be perfectly honest, that probably isn't a bad thing. Okay, so the thing that they're gonna blame this on is, oh my word, it's just awesome. It's, oh, Jason, man. Dude, you just can't make this up. Before BioWare even thinks about expanding out of the story of Anthem, it should really consider looking at the failings of the base game's narrative and of the instances of male ego that drives the story forward. Toxic masculinity, which ultimately works to the detriment of the story's core development and resolution. I'm sorry. I laughed when I read it the first time, and I just can't help myself. I mean, seriously, with all the information that we have about the development of Anthem, all the information so it was in pre-production for 6 freaking years. It basically had 1 year of actual real production. And you look at the game, you can kind of go, yeah, that's a really good studio turning out a game really fast. And the problem with the story is that it's toxically masculine. It's full of masculine toxicity. I mean, are characters in Anthem running around and sexually harassing people, assaulting people in the game? I mean, have they decided to ban all women? Have women been relegated to the kitchen in Anthem? Are there no women in power? Are there no women warriors? Are there no female? And why are we focused? This is a video game. Why are we focused on gender roles? I feel like Jason's really caught up in gender stereotyping, and he needs to be hip and down and kind of understand the reality of, that everything's really gender fluid, and gender is a social construct that's been created by, the elite ruling class of men in the Western world to keep us all down. Jason, wake up. You're part of the problem of toxic masculinity. God. I read this stuff, and I go, how is this even published? And the fact that this person, Jason Coles, this person can write this on a media website about video games, about the games, the movies, and TV you love. That's their brand. And he can write this here. And it's validated somehow as a journalistic perspective on the video game market is garbage. And people like this should be fired. And that's all I got to say about Anthem. Like, really, like, this article was just oh my word, it just made my heart just flutter when I read it. And Anthem, yeah, I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna say 4 months, and they'll close it. Bioware's done. And if people don't get that, I mean, God knows what went into the development of BioWare, and that's really a shame on BioWare. You know, that's a shame on BioWare. It sounds like the next Dragon Age game has been canned, just because of this a cascading series of events beside BioWare, perpetuated by EA, but it's not like BioWare made the best of the situation, you know. So yeah, I really think this is the end. I think this is, you know, and I think stuff like this is, you know, maybe this is just Jason Cole, you know, helping them, you know, get ready for when it does end. They can be like, well, the problem was it was full of toxic masculinity men in the game, and then that was reflected in the player base. The player base was full of toxic men, and we as a company were so woke that we decided we just couldn't support this breeding ground of male toxic masculinity. Oh my God. Thank you for stopping by. As always, I appreciate it. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, click. And if you're new to the channel and you'd like to see more of my rants or my gameplay or my news videos or anything that happens to be going on in the world that I think is interesting in the world of video games, click that subscribe button. I always appreciate the support. And as always, I will see you next time.